Hello, friends. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by the four-time Retailer of the Year, Specs. I'm David Nuno. What are you doing here, bro?
I'm sitting in.
Carter's in the house. Maria, what's up?
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Can you do a Maria voice?
How are you? I'm good.
Okay,
My name's that's not good. It's like more
That's
Valley
not
Girl.
good. Nick, you want to do a Maria?
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good to see. Okay, that's not you. I'm sorry. Anyway,
That's not me.
No. You're more like hello.
Okay.
Sorry. I do that voice and it upsets my wife so much. She goes, I don't sound like that. I go, I know, but it's just fun.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my God.
This is awesome.
On the rewind. Well, Nick, what do we have on the rewind? Or just tell us something good and then I can ask everybody.
It's something good. Kellen Mond.
Kellen
He's
Mond, on the rewind. What was your favorite part?
I was gonna say Kellen Mond. I think it's pretty crazy that he hadn't played 4 quarters since 2020.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And it was, again, in the Orange Bowl versus who?
I should know this.
North Carolina.
That's what it is.
Griglione. Maria, hello. What's your favorite part of the show?
I was also going to say Kellen Mond, but also Callie's debut on
Oh,
Around
Callie
Aggie
did,
Lane.
yeah.
She did a good job.
Believe it or not, she did not make the rewind. I'm going to ask Nick. Am I right about that?
That is correct.
Well, who else made the rewind?
You had the Baseball Roundtable, you had Billy Liucci, and you had OB.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, the rewind is like a draft. Like Nick makes the draft.
And
It's
I'm the
all
only
about-
general manager.
Yeah, he's the
making
GM.
picks.
So it's basically like the Texans expansion draft of 2002 when they took Tony Boselli. He's made some bad picks. So that probably doesn't make sense to a lot of you. But the older people, here's the rewind. Can A&M's pass catchers, and I'm going to include tight ends in this conversation, Can their pass catchers be more than just reliable? Can they be a strength? Can they be an asset for A&M based on the intel we have right now? And look, some of this is, I read your practice report. I know Bronny had one yesterday. Like, a lot of this stuff, we're not going to know the answers of this until mid-September, October, right?
Right.
But just understanding where they are at receiver with the new additions, understanding where they are from a tight end perspective. You know, they brought in some guys that can block for sure.
Yeah.
Can some of those guys become, can Theo take a big step as the most veteran guy in the group, or at least at A&M, I should say? What do you think?
Yeah, I thought Theo, we all saw him with the touchdown catch against Florida, and then I think he had one the very next week. Was that Arkansas?
That was Arkansas.
Seems like he had 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
And then it got quiet after that.
Yeah, and then he had a big
Drop.
costly drop against Auburn. But, he showed that he can be a receiver. He wasn't as consistent a receiver as Trey Watson was, and it's not like Trey was lighting things up, but he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But, guys can get better. It's one of those things I got to see it to say that they're going to be any more productive than they were last year.
Yep.
Hopefully. I did see the big kid from Nebraska, Burtker?
Nate Borkshire.
Yeah. He, look, they're running against air, right? But he's got all of his momentum going to his right. The ball's thrown behind him. He reaches back with his left hand and was able to make the catch. Now, what does that tell me? Nothing, except, hey, the guy's got some pretty good hands.
Yeah.
Now, can he do that with, the bullets flying around him?
Sure.
We'll
It's
see.
different.
But, you see the basic ability there.
Not every time there isn't always a jump from freshman year to sophomore year. Okay? There isn't always a jump.
Not always.
Sometimes there's
Typically
a step back,
there is,
right?
but-
Sometimes there's a step back or just, but what we saw from Craver at the wide receiver spot at Mississippi State,
Look good to me.
that version of him here, that version looks really good. Talk to me about San Antonio, life with the Brahmas, and how you ended up there.
It's really been amazing. I had a conversation with Mark Lillibridge back in probably October, and I ended up signing to the Brahmas probably maybe in November or something. So, we've only added talent. We got a lot of talent on the team, and, we've had 14 training camp days of practice, and then now we've had a really good week of practice. So, got one more today, and then we'll probably have a walkthrough and get ready for Saturday's game.
So talk to me about what the last year and change has been like for you, because you've had some ups and downs. Obviously, you've landed on your feet. I think good things are ahead for you. Just talk about navigating through some of those difficult times with the NFL and coming to the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always adverse situations, and I always talk back to my high school career where things started off really rocky and then ended up being a really good player, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Obviously, things started off rocky at Texas A&M, ended up number 4 team in the country, my last year. And so, it's just, especially in this league, whether UFL or NFL, certain things may not work out. But, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in. I've had, like I said, a really good week of practice. They made me the starter last week. So, I mean, it's only been up from there. And we're looking to show what type of offense we can have and what type of team we can have.
How much better of a quarterback are you now than maybe when you first came into the league?
I mean, a way better quarterback. I think fundamentally you're able to change certain things. And I think just even from an intelligence level, just understanding of defenses and concepts, and really also your ability to learn, the amount of systems I've had to learn since being drafted in 21 is, over a handful easy. So yeah, it's just the ability to learn, and then you're just a lot more intelligent, especially when you come into this situation and now you're the starter. And you have the keys to the car, and you can go out and play with confidence, and you don't have to be afraid to make mistakes, or as if you're managing an offense. You have the keys, and the guys are looking at you to make plays.
28th. The 28th. This is a must-win series, because when you look at that schedule, and not just down the road, I'm talking about next week when the calendar turns to April and you go to Knoxville. Mm-hmm. It gets real, and it can get late real early if you don't win this series.
Well, it might already be late early, right? You're 0-6 in the league, and you're fighting for your postseason life in week 3 of conference play. Nuno, I don't think you're crazy. I like that you're no longer next year, Nuno. You're not even next week, Nuno. You're this week, Nuno, because it has to start now.
On Friday, Nuno.
Right? It has to start now. It has to start getting rolling in the right direction at home in front of your fans. It's like what we talked about yesterday, David. They need that exhale, that sigh of relief moment, and that hopefully that'll allow them to get on a roll. They showed progress on Tuesday night. Hopefully they can take that into this weekend and find a little bit of confidence and get ready for that trip to Knoxville, as Bronny mentioned.
Well, your confidence may be coming from the first appearance of the season for Caden Sorrell.
Yep.
Or just the availability. And again, Coach Early hasn't been shy about the possibilities with the lineup. If Sorrell is going to DH, then I don't think Hayden Schott is going to come out of the lineup. I think he's going to play left field. So you have a one-legged man in left field. I mean, that's kind of been the story of that position all season, right? It's been a rotating door, a turnstile of bodies out there. Schott has at least played a lot of left field in his college career. But I like the outing from Sawyer Farr out there on Tuesday night. He's a really good athlete and ran around probably better than a lot of the other options that they've had. But yeah, this thing is going to come down to Scott's point to start this is like, can you get off the mat offensively? And it doesn't mean that you've got to go score 10 runs a game, but are you better with 2 strikes? Are you better in 2-0 and 3-1 counts? Are your swing decisions in those counts correct? That to me is some of the overarching themes that I'm looking at offensively. How Coach Early has talked about how much work they've put in on those areas, swing decisions, tracking pitch types, logging pitch types and pitch shapes, pitch recognition. All of that stuff has got to get better, and if that gets better, then the offense gets better.
Let's talk Aggie Pro Day. Nick Scorton, thin, moving. I was not there. I read all the reports. Shamar was there, despite being injured. I know Shamar Turner, I should say. Shamar Stewart.
Turner did stuff.
Shamar Stewart
Turner,
did not.
Shamar Stewart did not. Shamar Turner did. You want to start with the D lineman and just go from there?
Yeah.
Nick Scorton at 257 is a problem for the NFL. Like they can't. I talked to so many people. Like when I say so many, I mean at least 5-6 different people that I had like more than just passing conversation about Nick, about like sit down, lunch, dinner, long conversation, and they're like starting like, well, now we're starting to think he's a 3-4 stand-up Sam linebacker.
Right.
You know, they're starting to think he's, you know, is he that much more of an edge guy? How does this weight play? How does it play in the NFL? And you know, Nick told me himself 2 days ago, He was out at practice, and he said, man, he played this year at A&M at 290, 291. And so now he's 257. So I keep seeing on social media, everybody's got to be a jerk about it. And everybody's got to be self-loathing. And they're like, why the hell was he playing at that weight? Whose fault is that? Who should be fired for Nick Scorton weighing It was his choice. And then people will say he's 257. Well, he told me himself he was like 281 at Purdue. So it was only a 10-pound difference. Right. But now, for whatever reason, he got down to 257. He looks incredible. He was moving. I know we posted videos. I posted a couple. Bronny posted like 62 of them. TexAgs posted a few. He was moving tremendously well, and still looks really explosive. He's got abs. He lost over 30 pounds. That is a wild amount of weight to lose. I think in the NFL, I think Nick plays probably, if he's 257, I think his ideal weight in the league might be around 270. We'll see, though. They might see him at that weight and go, dude, you're going to – who had a similar thing happen was Hunter Goodwin. Not to compare, they're completely different, right? But Hunter was like a tackle at A&M. He was an all SWC tackle. And probably, this is back in a different era. He's probably like just around 290, like 6'6", 290. He got to the combine and ran like a 4.7 something at 290. Hunter, if you go do a little research on our man, The Big Truth, his combine performance was pretty stinking elite.
Cartier, tell the people what to do.
Got 3 things for you. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment, I want to see him.
Griglione, you want to add something to that?
Comment your favorite thing about David.
Yes.
I'll be the first comment.
Yeah,
I'll
do
be the
that.
second.
Yeah, make sure it's Larry David. We'll see you next time.